about to see is a video that I recorded earlier in the week in regards to the white lounge that I'm doing up and a problem with the ABS sensor. Shortly after recording that, Paul from Love500 posted a video with pretty much the same content because we've been speaking to each other. So just bear in mind that for the next just over 10 minutes or something, there might be a lot of repeat and a lot of stuff that's Paul's already covered in a video. So yeah, just a bit of a heads up on this week's video. But I will be back next week with something fresh, and I'll probably actually maybe do the Panda next week. Welcome back everyone, and welcome to the 2013 lounge. Today we are going to slightly move on, get the interior sorted, and also work on this ABS fault that's in place on the car. There's going to be 3 different ways we're going to do it. 1, we're going to disconnect the battery. 2, we are going to replace the ABS sensor, which is on the left hand side, which I believe is the side which is most likely going to be coming from. And then number 3, we're going to try and clear the code on that. And then if we still have problems, then we know it's potentially not the sensor and it's going to be something else. If it's something else, then we're buggered, because I'm not used to ABS faults with the 500, and I certainly don't want to be fiddling around with that, because it's not really an easy mechanical thing to do. So yeah, so we're going to do that, and yeah, see what else we've got to do on the car before it's ready and good for its MOT. Right, as last week's video was all about the seats, or mainly about the seats, they are now all in, and they've all been painted and they're now bolted. I've also given the carpet a refresh as well. However, yes, these covers, which I didn't want, but wanted them to look like the back here. Yeah, eBay auction said no problems at all, but I go to remove the first one, which I think is the driver's one, and there's like 3 cigarette burns in the sort of centre bit. So I think we can safely say that was the reason that these were put on. For £21, I'm not going to argue it. I'm going to leave them on, and when I go to sell it, I'll explain that they are on, and they can choose to take them off. But I still think this interior is far better than the red. So yeah, done that. Door cards are off. Gonna put on the first one, which I still need to source the second one as well. But yeah, and then this has gone on just because this is so badly scuffed up. Put one of these on just as a little they can take that on off if they want, but this is really badly scuffed and scratched. So yeah, we'll get some car mats put in, but I'll do that at the end. So yeah, that's the pretty much the interior sorted. Really need to give that steering wheel a good clean, really badly. So yeah, I think we're pretty much done with the inside now of this one. Right, so next stage is we are going to, or have plugged in, multi ECU scan, and this is that we're getting. So it's C1115. Take action to fix the sensor fault. It actually doesn't say whether it's left or right, which is a bit annoying. So let's clear this fault anyway, because as far as I'm aware that is the ABS. Well, it's not gone, is it? So we have a fault there, so I think we're going to have to remove and replace the ABS sensor and see, and hopefully see that yeah, completely changes things. But that is annoying, but oh well, these things happen. Yeah, so we'll get on to unclip that, and hopefully it's just, well, I think I've done it before. It's a unclip job from where does it go? Because we've got this all taken out, it's quite easy to get to because it's just kind of clipped in, but we just need to unclip it from under there and then pull it out and unclip it from there. So yeah, let's get going on that. Okay, so the ABS sensor has been swapped out. You need to just unbolt it from here, and then effectively then just run it out of its various little clips and everything all the way, and then just unplug it just behind the headlight here. Nice and simple ish. Yeah, now when the way to, we can't really test it, but also bear in mind that multi-ECU scan doesn't actually say which side of the car the sensor is causing a fault. But I say it's a sensor, I don't know if it is actually that ABS sensor that's causing the fault. I'm just assuming, because I've had problems with it before. And what is also noticeable, because I've been doing a bit of googling, is the speedo says ABS and EBD unavailable. Now when it's just an ABS sensor on the speedo, it just says ABS unavailable. So I actually think it's more. And so, without trying to bore everyone by just talking about it, the issue here is that when the laptop is plugged in to multi-ECU scan, but also you've got the ignition on, when you turn the wheel or turn the hub, you can see the speedo, and it makes the warning sound like there's an issue. So as far as I'm concerned, the sensors aren't the problem, because on both sides, the left and the right, when you turn the hub, you get the error sound on the dash. So to me, these sensors aren't the problem, and probably you'll find that actual sensor that I've taken off has been absolutely fine. So I don't believe it's put to be an ABS sensor, and it talks about voltage. So again, going back onto Google, some people have said you might have a decaying battery or your earth strap's at fault. I'm not sure it's those, because if it's those, you'd also get some other issues, and I'm not aware of any other issues. So what is the problem that I can't clear? So anyway, it could well be something to do with the ABS system itself. There could be, where this is taken a right whack from grounding out or doing whatever, it's caused a problem in the wiring system. I have a bad feeling in my gut that this is not going to get solved, and I'm going to end up with the car not being able to work out whether, if it's a problem in the wiring, I'm going to have absolutely no chance in identifying the problem. No chance. So I'm really hoping a change of battery added an extra strap might do something, but yeah, it's not looking good, I'll be honest with you. So if you follow my channel, there's a good chance you follow Paul at Love500 on his channel, and he's spoken about it on his latest video, which is the ABS and EBD sensor, or ABD, sorry, don't want ABD, you really don't want ABD, EBD. So I have spent a good week trying to understand a lot about the EBD, and there's a huge amount of information that's not on the internet. So everyone speaks about it being a voltage issue, and that basically changing out the battery or the earth strap seems to solve it. I've done both of those and it hasn't. Now don't get me wrong, it might work for some, but in this case it didn't work. So had a look on Leon, who's also a YouTuber up in Wales, and he did a 500, and he had a ABS come up on his dashboard, and he changed the hub and that solved it. So, but I've obviously got an ABS and an EBD problem. So let's go back to what I thought or is the main culprit. As you know, this took a whack. It looked like it was all dented up here, and down here there wasn't really any that I could see any particular issues. There wasn't any bent anything that I could see. Yes, okay, the strut's been changed, but that was an oil leak, and changed the bottom arm because of how worn it was, but that was it. There was nothing else here. So my first port of call was to change the ABS sensor and change that, and that appeared to not make a blind bit of difference. In fact, the ABS sensor that I've swapped it out for seems to work just fine. So therefore it's not an ABS sensor. So that sort of, yeah, it's just not that. Then you've then potentially got a problem in the hub itself, but the ABS sensor seemed to be recognizing everything, so didn't really think it was the hub. Then obviously, as I say, the earth strap's been done and the battery's been done, and I'm still getting the problem. So realistically, I was having this sort of panic on now, thinking the only real thing I can do is change the hub, but it seems to be something to do with electrical rather than anything else. So along comes Paul from Love500 and explains that he has an issue and had the same problem, and the way he sorted it, and it might well be that he puts this on his video, is that if you look at the yellow one, the second yellow one, that was missing. So he's put that, that's ABS according to the diagram, that's ABS. So he's put one in, and he said he seemed to fix it. So I've now done that, put that in, because that was also missing. Now I have a feeling that these are all missing. I can't believe that these come out of the factory or every sort of scrap one or everything that's driving around doesn't has had one of these taken out. I don't know if they even came with it, but anyway, so put that in, and the problem's gone from the dashboard. The issue has gone. So I am a bit, if I'm being honest, totally and utterly confused. Is it a coincidence that these are both scrap, or I'd say scrap, both from Copart, and they've both had their fuse removed? I really should have a look to be fair, at another car just to see. But anyway, this 20 amp fuse here, the yellow one, into socket number 3, 4, 5, into socket 6 or port 6, has solved the issue. So there you have it. I say solved it. It's gone. I do need to run it, and I do need to, give it a blast and everything. But don't think there's been any problems with Paul's, and he's now sold his. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. But as far as I'm aware, put all tyres on this, and I have literally just driven it up the road just to see how it gets on, and everything seems to be all right. So that might be your problem down here, which is a 20 amp fuse. Give that a shot if you have problems like that, but I'll see how it goes. But yeah, so in regards to this car now, everything is on, everything's back in place. I have a feeling I'm going to have to do tracking just to put this mind at rest, because when that wheel's on, it looks like it's ever so slight, it looks like it's out. But when I did take it for a drive, I didn't really feel it overly pulling. So yeah, that's next on the list to do that. Problem, so sort of just discuss this. This is bought this, which was grey with black trim, and then got another one on eBay which looked like grey and black trim, and it's like a checkered black, so it doesn't match whatsoever. So currently we have no other door card. The wheel has been nicely cleaned up. That was, I think, like almost like nicotine yellow, hence why it had a wheel cover on it. So I've done all that and cleaned all of these up. Actually need to go and buy some mats, and then yeah, these are gonna have to stay on. I will tell the owner, the new potential owner, that these are obviously covers if they didn't already know, and that underneath that one has some cigarette burn, so they can decide if they want to take them off or they're happy to leave them. Then oh yeah, so realistically the only thing we've got left to do, which now been waiting for nearly 2 weeks for, is because down here again, I've already mentioned it, is there is an issue with the hub and one of these, which I suspect, I'm not really sure which one it is, but it is one of these, is not going in, and it needs sorting out, and that's what's holding back getting this basically done and dusted and ready to be sold. So that is, oh yeah, let me know what you think about these, whether you think I should just leave them on or take them off. There's one here, I think there was one on the top, yeah, one here as well. I mean, can't really see that, but let me know if you think I should take that off. So yeah, that is this 500 for you. Otherwise it's, yeah, and it needs a proper good clean as well. So always check your fuses. If you get any issues, always check your fuses. That's one thing. But Paul has been really helpful in regards to that. As I say, we've been having a little, we don't talk that often, but as you know, not like every day, like we're in a couple, as much as he wants it to be. But we find that if you ever get stuck and I send him or ask him about it, at least he knows that I've got stuck, and then he can drop me a message when he has the same problem, or vice versa. So yeah, so I think that's it pretty much for that white one. Nothing else more on it. And yeah, we'll I think end today's video on that one. It's quite a short one for today, but we can discuss the black one that I've got coming up very shortly, that I need to sort out with potential core pack and spark plugs, because it's just slightly lumpy when cold, and it's how do you describe it? So if you're sitting in the car and you've got it running and it's from cold, the revs don't move as such, like they don't, you know, move up and down, but you can feel like a vibration in the seat, and you can feel, how do I put it, you can feel the car feels like it's about to stall, but you don't see the revs go down and then it nearly stalls. It just feels like the engine is like dropping down in revs, then ever so slightly kicking back up again, and then dropping, and then yeah, it's just a bit weird one. So I think it might be a need for either a new coil pack or spark plugs. So yeah, but other than that, that is going to be today. So again, thank you for watching. We're nearly, I know I keep banging on about it, but we are getting ever so closer. So we're now, I think, just under 20 from the Magic 1000. Yeah, so thank you all again. Give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.